Felony murder is different than average murder because it expands the definition of murder. It applies when someone commits a felony, and then as a result of that felony, someone dies, whether it was intentional or accidental, the defendant is liable for the death. In 2004, four teenagers broke into an elderly neighbor's home to commit robbery. They were looking for cash, but 15-year-old Sean Khalifa was responsible for guarding the back door when he came inside to steal some chocolates and saw that the elderly neighbor had been seriously injured. Upon seeing this, Sean ran back outside, but when he was facing charges, he was convicted of first-degree murder, even though no one was accusing him of laying a hand on the neighbor. The felony murder rule holds that anyone involved in certain kinds of serious felonies that result in death is as liable as the actual killer. Sean, who was 15 at the time of the committed felony, is now 29 and serving out a 25-year to life sentence. In the United States, the felony murder rule is supposed to work on the basis that anyone who is an accomplice can be charged with murder if they show a reckless indifference to human life. Now, in the case of 15-year-old Sean Khalifa, who was an unknowing teenage accomplice to a crime of robbery that he did not expect to turn into murder, I don't think that that specific statement applies. I can understand how the enforcement of this rule is important for a lot of felony cases where that reckless disregard for human life is the case, but I think, like a lot of controversial laws in the United States, we have to not necessarily take them off the books or completely get rid of them, but we need to look at how we enforce them and how we need to take things on a case-by-case basis, because as the other discussion board talks about, crime is usually not cut and dry, and so that's not to say that the rules don't apply, but I definitely think that for something that can be seen as so arbitrary, we probably need to take a little bit more time to consider the circumstances or the motivation or the involvement of the individuals who committed the felony and whether or not they showed that intent and disregard for human life when they are getting charged as the actual killer and being given life sentences when they did something wrong, but they didn't do something that wrong to deserve that level or degree of punishment, especially minors.